Okay, here's another video for our summer work. This one is about multiplying decimals. Now, we did a little bit of this during fifth grade, so this is something hopefully you're a little familiar with. I just want to review a quick thing, and that is the idea of using a fraction as your decimal. So just thinking about if you have the problem of 3/10 times 4/10, then we could represent that as a fraction if we chose to. So that'd be 3/10 times 4/10. And so that would give us a fraction that we would be very comfortable with of 12 over 100. And what that tells us is that when we multiply 3/10 times 4/10, we're going to get 12 hundredths. So it's going to look in that way. Well, what does that mean? Well, if we take 3 times 4, we get 12, right? Because when we multiply fractions, we just multiply straight across for the numerators and straight across for the denominators. So if you're getting stuck when you're multiplying decimals, and a strategy that you can use is to take it to the fraction, and then this will tell you what your place value is. Oh, it's in the hundredths place. So let's do another example to kind of make this a little more clear. So if I have 1 and 2/10 times 4/10. Now that's a little different because I know that 4 times 12 is 48. But then what place value am I in? Well, I've got to figure that out. So let's take a look at what we get. If I change this into fractions. So now I have 12/10. That's a little different, right? And then I have still 4/10. And that's going to equal 48. Oops. Got to do some clicking. 48 hundredths. Well, so it looks like I'm in the same place value. I'm in the hundredths place. So that means that 8 has to be in the hundredths. So I get 0 and 48 hundredths. But what do I do if now I'm multiplying two numbers that are greater than 1? So for example, let's use 1.2. But we'll use 1.2 times 1.2, right? That's a math fact, 12 times 12. We know that's 144. But where's the place value? So let's see if we can find that easily by putting it into a fraction. So 12/10 times 12/10 equals, we already know what this equals. We just said it, right? It's a math fact. 12 times 12 is 144 over 100. So that changes things. So that 4, so this is 144, except for this 4 has to be in the hundredths place. And in order for that to be in the hundredths place, the decimal would have to go here. So that's really the key with multiplying a decimal by a decimal is you can follow the standard algorithm of multiplication, and then at the end, consider what is my decimal. So I can do 12 times 12, that gives me 144, and then I have tenths times tenths, that gives me hundredths. So that means when I'm done doing my standard algorithm, my place value will be in the hundredths place. So that's something just to keep in mind as you're doing this work. You don't want to get yourself stuck because you're getting confused or trying to come up with a special way to do this. Keep it simple. It's very simple. Just use the fraction thinking if you're getting stuck. If you're very comfortable with the algorithm, then your job is really just to remember where does my decimal go when I'm done with the work.